Good morning. I wanted to welcome you to our very first Simply Seymour show. I am Terry Penner, Community Development Director for the City of Seymour.
I'm Dan Weimer, the owner and publisher of the Webster County Citizen newspaper in Seymour.
And we have our very first guest, Mr. Steve Richards, the Superintendent of Seymour Schools. And he is going to be answering all kinds of questions that you might have about the start of school. Can you believe how fast the summer went, Steve?
No, they seem to get faster every year.
I think so, too. So this year is going to be a unique year for the school because we're going to a 4-day school week. And I'm sure you've got all kinds of information on that for us to talk about.
Yes, part of the 4-day week was probably to keep up with other districts. And, a lot of decisions normally made were based on the impact it'd have on students. Although we feel this will be a good impact on students, we also think it's a good impact on our job force.
Yes. So what time does school start now on Tuesday, the 23rd?
Classes will start at 7:55. Buses will begin unloading at 7:35 at the middle school, high school, and then drive over to elementary and drop off. So all buildings will be open at 7:35.
So everybody can come in at 7:35.
That is correct.
And then everybody will have the same start time then as well?
Yes.
Okay, very
And
good.
then dismissal is what time, Steve?
For the final dismissal will be the high school at 3:30. So we will start loading the elementary approximately at 3:20 to get everybody on the bus and out of the building. Preschool has their own times designated to avoid all other bus times. So I believe that'd be 8 and 3.
Okay.
And then you also have a new drop-off system at the middle school this year because of the construction going on there?
Well, we're going to keep the same one
okay.
as of now, but it's going to be tight. So we need parents to have to pay attention when they park because we do have some trusses there. And if it becomes heavy, they can drop off through the high school drop-off.
Okay.
At the high school entrance.
Perfect. And then once again this year, you guys are doing all school supplies are provided by the school, correct?
Yes, that goes back to our tax levy a few years ago. That was a promise we made to the community upon passing that
Yes.
they would continue to take care of the needs. And it is nice to see every year when you see all the districts putting out the school supplies, parents trying to get them. And
Exactly.
our community does not have to worry about that.
Exactly. So one of the big things that you have going on too is your gym project too.
Yes, that's been exciting. We have a lot of small projects going on. The gym is now becoming visible finally once we got out of the ground, but it's starting to come along and you can see it from the road. And we noticed a lot of people driving around all sides and worked well with the city. They've moved some power lines for us, make it easier on our construction route back there.
Let's talk about some of the smaller projects you've done this summer, Steve. I know that at both the baseball and softball fields, there were pretty extensive renovations done. Can you tell us about some of those?
Yeah, the softball field started earlier last year, but the big project was, a brand new fence and a backstop, which updates the facility, new foul poles, and we're still waiting on mats and our pads that go from dugout to dugout. That should be here by the end of August. And then we've got one more small project at the softball field to continue our pad to the home dugout, which will add more seating. At the baseball field, we did a new backstop, and of course, if you know the difference of a baseball and softball field, it's a huge difference between dugout to dugout. So we have that finished. We're waiting on pads and foul poles, and again, we'll be adding new fence down each line. So basically, by the end of the fall, both fields should be almost completely redone, it looks great from the road. And
Yes, it does. It looks fantastic.
And small projects going on inside the building. We've got several lined up. We finished renovating the fax room in the high school. We're getting ready to do update our, non-existent science labs.
Right.
Get those up to date. We have a parent big input sign. We tried to get one bigger than the bank, but we couldn't pull that off. We just thought that'd be funny. But no, like we added one at the elementary last year. We're putting a digital sign out front.
Let's talk about when you're looking at projects. I know that the next one that will be underway soon is the new kindergarten preschool facility, which essentially in its own way is going to probably take out your current administration building Sort of talk about that one with us.
Well, actually, it's sooner than later. We actually open bids tomorrow, and we had to bid out some playground equipment. So we should begin within a month of doing our groundwork, our dirt work, and then we're with the construction crew. We're timing it out pretty good where they can jump in and do the dirt work and the block layers when they get done. They should be able to hop right across, and this building could get done simultaneously with the gym. And I think it's going to be great for our preschool and kindergarten. If I know the plans were in the paper, but some of the classrooms having an extra restroom or two in the class.
Right.
That's pretty big for preschool and kindergarten. Indoor play areas, if inclement weather, outdoor covered play areas, lots of room for meetings and things like that. So, obviously, our current facility has served as well, but this will be a permanent one that will last, and the savings per year, per month will be great on the new building.
Well, if you look at the current elementary and then the current gymnasium, they serve the district for more than 50 years. And so if you look ahead at these the new gym, this new elementary building, the district should be fairly well set for buildings into the future.
Yes, I agree. And I think a big thing for future administration is just to keep projects going continuously. That way, in the future, 10 years from now, we don't have a big setback. We still have a lot of plans when we get this stuff done.
Right.
But we just have to wait and see where we are financially.
I think one of the great things is seeing the improvements to the school. The new entryway is beautiful at the high school. It makes our school a shining point whenever you come into town, and one of the biggest things that people look at whenever they're trying to decide on coming to Seymour. And I think we're in a great position with that, and I think we're going to do great things this year. I just know it.
I think it's a big testament to the community and the board on passing that levy a few years back. It does give us some money.
Exactly.
For capital projects, so we really appreciate that, and I hear a lot of compliments, and I think our enrollment is obviously making a positive turn in the last few years.
Yes. So again, Steve, you want to tell again, so parents that might have tuned in a little bit later, what time that start time was and pickup time again for school on Tuesday?
The drop-off time for the K through 12 is 7:35 at all buildings. Classes will begin at 7:55, and the end of the day will be 3:30. Will be the time that we leave. The final bus will pull out, so we'll probably load up at the elementary around 3:20 with parent pickup starting at the same time.
Perfect. And one other thing, I'd seen a lot of information talked about online about this year. There's no longer everyone getting free lunches. You have to sign back up for that again this year, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so anybody that wants free or reduced lunches, you'll be sending home forms where they can apply to get that?
We will send forms home with every student.
Okay.
For the first day of school, and then have a deadline for them to be returned.
And you still do that backpack program too for kids?
We basically have different type of programs for every kid with Care to Learn, Life 360, and the school
Awesome.
supplies.
So be looking for those forms to sign up for free and reduced lunches in your kid's backpack.
And on the 4-day week, Steve, maybe you'll explain to people, what is the day off every week on the 4-day week?
The day off will be Monday.
Okay.
Now, we do have a few exceptions. Everyone really enjoyed the long Thanksgiving break, the traditional Christmas break, so we kept those. So in November and December, we will be going on Mondays.
Okay.
To allow for the long break.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Steve. Do you have anything else you want to tell us about the school, or?
No, we're real excited. Everything seems to be going well. We had a high retention of our staff.
Wonderful. Good deal. Well, thank you for coming in and visiting with us today, and we appreciate it and look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks,
you for
Steve.
having me.
Thank you for tuning in today to our Simply Seymour video cast, and be watching for our next one when we have Seymour School Resource Officer Ray Rodriguez in to talk about school. And follow us on Facebook where you can watch all of our videos. It is Simply Seymour. And we appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day.